What is going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Greybeard at Greybeard Gaming Group. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. If this is the first time visiting our channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, make sure you hit that subscribe button, as we would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help us out. Most of you know by now that we do have giveaways here, and our current one is for an Xbox One S or a PlayStation 4 Pro. All you need to do to enter is subscribe to our channel here, or you can follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine, and we will be announcing the winner on November 5th of this year. As always, keep in mind that watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things here that you may enjoy. That's why we give you the option of entering the contest via Twitter. Having said that, let's get into today's State of the Game recap. So as we start off, most of you, or pretty much all of you, know by now that Title Update 11 and the Summit both come out next Tuesday, September 22nd. Season 3 also starts that day, and keep in mind you need to own Warlords of New York to have access to this content. They went on to mention that there is a free weekend for the game from the 24th to the 27th. Hopefully that can get some people, playing it again. And the reality is I go back, like the story mode itself was great. It was the endgame stuff, that's where we've been having the major issues. But anyway, if someone does happen to purchase the game and they're playing and they want to buy it, their character does roll over to the purchased copy. The next thing that they got into was backwards compatibility in regards to being able to play both the Division 1 and 2 on the next generation consoles. They made it very clear that you will not need to rebuy the game. Your game will work with next gen systems, but there is no optimization upgrade. The other thing mentioned was the fact that you can play, like let's say if you have a buddies on a PS4 and you're running PS5, you guys can still play in the same thing. So as long as you're on the same type of system, you can still matchmake and squad up. And one final note in regards to Title Update 11 and what's coming out, they also mentioned that the Iron Horse raid will now have Discovery mode, which means there will be matchmaking. However, and this is important, with Discovery mode, if it's like the first one that they did for the first raid, I do not believe that exotics are obtainable during that gameplay. Which, I mean, honestly makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's like you're going to open it up for matchmaking, but you're not going to allow people who can only matchmake get the same stuff that people in an actual group. It just doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's where we're at, so that's also coming out on the 22nd. Alright my friends, now we're going to jump into the Summit. Now in regards to Title Update 11, I've mentioned this before, but the gear looks great, the exotics look really great as well. I'm not sure about the backfire, which is that submachine gun that applies bleed. I haven't figured out a build for that yet, but all of the stuff does look really good. However, right now we're going to talk about the Phase 2 of the PTS and the changes that they made and what is going to be upcoming, not only before it actually launches, but between now and Title Update 11.1 as well. And in regards to Title Update 11.1, the reason why they're talking about it now is they know for a fact that people will not be as impressed as they should be with Title Update 11, so they want to let you know better changes are coming. Not only that, but at this point, they haven't had any feedback from console players. I mean, that's just a reality, and the console players are the majority of the Division 2 community. However, at this point, it does seem like they are actually listening to the majority of the community in regards to things that most gamers would like to see change when the Summit comes out. The first thing has to do with difficulty and the fact that a lot of people want to see the entire building. The people want to be able to have the choice how they play. So if you want to do the whole thing on normal or legendary or heroic or whatever, you should have the ability to do so. Now that will not be happening next Tuesday when it launches. However, they did announce that starting then, you have the ability to start on floor 51 right out of the gate. That way, at least at this point, you have the option of choosing your difficulty. So if you want to skip normal and hard and challenging, you can jump to heroic, or you could just jump to challenging, depending on how, strong your character is right now. The other main question a lot of people had has to do with targeted loot. And at this point in the game, when it launches, there's only going to be one single targeted loot for the entire building. Now, the good thing is, because of a ton of feedback, that is something they're going to change. Now, it's not happening with Title Update 11, but realistically, with 11.1, you should see a change in the targeted loot system. What that will be, we do not know as yet. The next thing they discussed was matchmaking and how, regardless of where your character may be, when you matchmake, and let's say if you're on, your own character is only at level 60. However, you happen to matchmake with a group and they're on level 76 when you join them and you get to level 80. 80 will now be your new starting point, meaning once you're in a group and you clear a certain level of floors, that becomes your new, baseline. And by baseline, I mean that just means you can start from that point on if you choose. You could also go lower, obviously, it doesn't matter. But once you attain a certain level of floors, then you can move from that point on. A few other things mentioned in regards to the summit is that now they have added rogue encounters during all difficulties. So whether you're playing normal or legendary, you do have the chance of running into rogue agents. And finally, they talked about directives, and at this point, you do not have the choice of choosing your directives or activating or deactivating them, but again, you may have that ability as the game mode progresses and different title updates come out. The next thing we want to get into is just general gameplay changes that are upcoming with Title Update 11. Most of you know that there have been a lot of complaints about the global events due to the fact that there just doesn't seem a point. Yes, there's a reward track, but the main thing has to do with the fact that the actual, event itself is nothing that people are really enjoying that much. Therefore, what they're doing, they said, with the new global events is they're making it more about just making your character stronger. So there's going to be more of a positive impact when you play, not really a negative one, like the whole, polarity one, things like that. They want it to be all about really buffing your character. And I think that, my friends, is a great change. And I always use the example of Reanimated. I didn't see the point. Killing an enemy twice, just as bad of a loot. Where's the point? However, if killing an enemy twice gives them the ability to drop loot twice, I'm all about that. We will actually be bringing you a video tomorrow that is just about loot and what we've seen so far in the PTS and what we can hope to see as Title Update 11 comes out and it progresses in the future. Just a few more things before we wrap this video up. First of all, they did announce the fact that there are going to be 2 new directives added to the game. However, they did not say what those new directives are. And finally, unfortunately, there was no mention whatsoever of PvP and changes that are actually going to be upcoming with Title Update 11. All they really did is reference the patch notes that you can see online in regards to the changes they made from Phase 1 of the PTS to Phase 2 of the PTS, but again, the majority of the community is on console, so that doesn't really help people out. Once we do have the final patch notes, which I believe should come out next Monday, it's typically the day before that they release them, we will bring them to you here and go over everything with you. And on that note, my friends, I think we're going to wrap up this video, and I just want to say, this gameplay does have so much potential. I just really hope they put the effort in and really try to get it right for the majority of the community. As always, I want to take a quick second and thank you all for your continued support of our channel. It's been just amazing. You guys are watching our content. If you're new to the channel, like I said before, feel free to hit that subscribe button. There's always room for more family members. And if you did enjoy this, take a quick second and hit that like button. Like I said a minute ago, I will be answering some of your questions tomorrow in regards to loot and some other things, and that's pretty much it. However, most importantly, as always, take care, be kind, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.